Hey guys, here's our next video in this unit, which is measures of central tendency and range. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our first example. Hopefully you have your notes and you've got your foldable and have already labeled it with mean, median, mode, and range. If you haven't done that, you'll want to go ahead and do that now. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and get started with our first example. So for your foldable, you are using the same set of numbers. You're using some math test grades, and they're the test grades that we're going to be using. The first one we're going to start with is finding the mean. Okay, so on the left side we've got some notes to fill out. So when you think of mean, you want to think average. Okay, when in school you're finding your average of your scores, you're finding the mean, okay? And so to find the mean, remember that you add all the values and then you divide by the number of values. So add all the values and then divide by how many values there are. So here we're going to go ahead and work out the mean for this problem. So the first thing we need to do is add up all the scores. So we're adding all the scores that we have: 94, 86, 92, 100, 99, 91, 99, and 83. Hopefully you had enough room there. Okay. And once we add all of those, we're going to divide by how many values there are. So in this example, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to divide by 8. Okay, so when you add all of those values up, you should have gotten 744. And so now we have to take that and divide it by 8. And of course, if you want to, you can go ahead and pause here and make sure that you get your answer right on your own. But I've already worked it out, and I know 744 divided by 8 is 93. So that means the mean, or the average test score here, is 93. Okay? All right, next one we're going to look at is median. And when you do median, in our notes, when you do median, you want to think of the middle. So you want to think about your middle number. So the first thing that you have to do in order to find your median is to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. Okay, and then you mark off your high and low values until you reach the middle. Okay. If there happen to be two middles, okay, so two numbers in the middle, you want to add them and then divide that by 2. So basically, you're finding the mean of those two numbers that happen to be in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this example, and I'm going to go ahead and put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So I've got 83, 86, 91, 92, 94, 99, 99, and 100. Okay. So I've done the first step, put them in order from least to greatest. Next, I want to mark off the high and low until I get to the middle. So one off each end. Okay, and I get down to where I have two numbers in the middle. So when I have two numbers in the middle, what I want to do is add those two together and divide by 2. Okay, so 92 plus 94 is 186. And we're going to divide that by 2 to get a median of 93. Okay, and in this example, you know that halfway between 92 and 94 is 93, and so you probably could have done that mentally, but it won't always be that easy. Okay, our next measure of central tendency is the mode, and when you're doing mode, you want to think of the most. Okay, and so what you want to do is put the numbers in order from least to greatest. Then find the number that appears the most. Okay. There may be more than one mode, so you can have one mode, you can have more than one mode, or there may be no mode. So if you don't have any number that appears more often than others, then there would be no mode. Okay. So the first thing again we want to do is put these numbers in order from least to greatest. And then we'll do the second step, which is just to find the number that occurs the most. And you see that there are 2 99s, and that's more often than any other number. And so the mode of this set of data would be 99. Okay. The last measure that we have is range. Okay. And when you think range, you want to think difference. Okay. And so again, you want to put your numbers in order from least to greatest. Okay. And then you want to subtract the lowest number and the highest number. So I know I've already put these in order from least to greatest twice before. So I know my lowest number is 83 and my highest number is 100. And so what I'm going to do is just subtract my highest minus my lowest. Okay. And when we do that subtraction, we get a difference of 17. And so the range is 17. Okay. So what I want you to do now is you have an example here. You've got a table that shows the average lifespan of selected mammals, and you're going to practice by finding the mean, median, mode, and range of this set of data. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video here, find those values, and remember, you don't have to know it all off the top of your head. You've got your handy dandy notes sitting right next to you. So if you don't remember how to find mean, open that flap, follow the directions, follow the example that you've already done. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video, then come back and check and see if you got that answer correct. Alright, so let's go ahead and start by finding the mean. And for that, you should have added all the values. So you've got 20 plus 12 plus 20 plus 15 plus 6 plus 20. And you should have taken those all and divided by 6 since there are 6 values. Okay? And so when you add those up, you should have gotten 93. And when you divide 93 by 6, we get a mean of 15 and 5/10 years, or 15 and a half years. Okay? Next value that you should have found was the median. And remember, for median, first thing that you need to do is put your values in order from least to greatest. Once you've done that, cross off from top and bottom to find your middle number. And remember, if there are 2 numbers in the middle, we add those together and divide by 2, basically finding the mean of those 2 numbers, or what's in the middle of the 2 of them. So that's 35 divided by 2, which gives you a median of 17 and 5/10. Okay. Next value or measurement you should have found was the mode. And remember, mode is just the most often. And I can tell by looking at the numbers that I've got that 20 occurs 3 times, and that's more often than any other. So my mode is 20. Last thing is my range. Okay, and range, we think difference, so we want to take our highest value and subtract from it our lowest value, and we end up with a range of 14. Okay, so hopefully those examples went smooth for you. If not, feel free to go back, rewind, look back through, maybe take notes again or try the examples again. Once you've done that, guys, make sure that you complete your summary. Your summary asks, what does central tendency mean? And why is range not a measure of central tendency? So I want you to think about what central tendency means, break apart those words, central tendency, and then determine why is range not a measure of central tendency. Make sure your summary is done in complete sentences. You should have at least 2 sentences, and come to class ready to work on central tendency tomorrow. Bye, guys.